Greg Smith here, national recruiting analyst for Rivals.com out in the Midwest, and I am joined by a very special guest, Will Hawthorne, the inside linebacker out of Gilbert High School in Gilbert, Iowa, who is the latest Iowa State commit. First of these first, congratulations, Will. How are you, man?
I'm amazing. Thank you, Mr. Smith. It's an honor being here with you,
Hey,
and
absolutely, man.
it's a great feeling. I'll say that I'm doing pretty good.
Good, man. Hey, I'm happy to hear it. So, a big time for you, obviously. So, I want to kind of launch right in. I know people are fired up and you're fired up about this news as well. I guess what made Iowa State the place for you? Because I know it was a tough decision.
Yeah. Iowa State's been my hometown team. I live here in Ames.
Mhm.
If I feel like if I stand up on my roof, I can see some of the taller buildings from campus, and plain and simple, it was the feel. Um, the coaches they have there are very genuine. And when I went there for after my offer for the official visit, it was a different feeling than I had gotten anywhere else in a football setting. It was kind of a pride that I got from being a hometown kid,
Yeah.
and an intrinsic energy that I feel like I could tap into,
Yep.
even when a couple years down the line, if things are getting hard, that I could use to further push myself. uh, yeah, it was just a great feeling. And apart from that, with the social aspect of everything, Coach Campbell lives and raises his kids in our school district, so I've known
Okay.
him for a while, and he's a very genuine guy, and I trust him, and my parents trust him to develop me into the best person I can be on the field and off the field.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And one of the things that I often tell people about these recruitments, and it's so hard when you have a school that you really like that's right up the street. It is really hard because there's just so much. Like, or I assume then like your family and a bunch of your friends are probably all Cyclones fans, and like they're super fired up. So, what was the kind of reaction when you told your family that this was going to be the decision?
Yeah, it was huge. I was actually I told my close family first, like my
Mhm.
mom, dad, brother, sister. But the next night, we were on family vacation, and I let everybody know at a family dinner. My aunt, uncle, my cousins, and my grandparents.
Uh,
My grandparents both went to Iowa State. My aunt was the homecoming queen there.
okay.
I'll be a fourth generation Cyclone.
Nice.
So I'd be lying if I told you that there were no tears at the happy
Yeah.
tears at the dinner table then. Yeah, it was a surreal moment, and everybody was very fired up for me, and it was a great experience to let everybody know that I was going to be attending Iowa State.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And it's funny you mentioned earlier kind of development with Coach Campbell and his staff, and they do a great job at that up there in Ames. Like, how do they see and how do they pitch to you about being able to use you within their defense?
hmm I was talking with Coach Campbell early on, right after the offer, or after the camp. I got an offer in late April, and I went down to the camp in early June just to feel everything out. And he talked to my dad and I, and he really saw me at the Sam position after seeing me, you know, in the one-on-one drills and see
Mhm.
me move. But at the official visit with Coach Cratch, the linebacker coach, he kind of puts me at any of the positions because he hasn't seen me, uh, through his drills, through his practice, so he
Right.
can't really pinpoint me on a spot, and he doesn't know how much weight I'll put on or anything
Mhm.
like that. And he likes to run a simpler thing for development guys when they're going through the development process. That he doesn't really want to put a cap on a guy at a certain
Right.
position. And instead, he just teaches you how to be a linebacker, and then wherever you want to go or wherever you fit best is where you end up. So any of the linebacker positions, I could see myself. And at the official visit, the running backs coach, Coach Rule, talked about some like maybe some fullback
Okay.
short yardage stuff down the
I
line,
like it.
which I'm a big fan of. But
Okay.
yeah, but linebacker.
Okay.
that's just
Yeah.
that's just me dreaming.
Right, of course. Every defensive guy has dreams of being able to get out there on offense and either block for a touchdown or score one, right? So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't blame you on that. But I find that pretty interesting though about kind of the way that they're kind of being really upfront and honest with you about how they're going to teach you the various positions, and then kind of go from there, right? I think that does
Mhm.
a good job of setting expectations for how your early college days are going to go, and there's not going to be a surprise on that, right? Like that's going to
Yeah.
be a really good thing. I like that.
100%. I definitely agree with that. It's definitely a sign of their honesty with me
Mhm.
throughout my year.
Absolutely. And one final thing for you, man, and I definitely appreciate the time as we're talking to linebacker out of Iowa, Will Hawthorne, who's just committed to Iowa State. The last thing here, what are you most looking forward to about being an Iowa State Cyclone?
I would say the game day experience, playing at Jack Trice Stadium and
Mhm.
knowing that I have a whole team or a whole city supporting me, and knowing that looking back, my 6, 7 year old self growing up, going to all those football games would be proud of who I am now.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. A dream come true for real, man. Congratulations again. That's going to do it for us. I am Greg Smith for Rivals.com with Will Hawthorne, linebacker out of Iowa, who is the latest Iowa State commit. Thank you, Will. Make sure you catch all the coverage on Rivals.com, and we will catch you guys later. Thanks, Will.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.